Hey boo, I'm just leaving work, about to hop on the train and head home to film season 2 of Dish with Tashaè. I'll call you when I'm done, okay? Thank you so much for tuning in to the Dish with Tashaè. Today joining me, I have the beautiful, the stunning, I mean like stunning, do you see this? Nikeva. She's a model, she's an actor, she's a dancer, she's a fitness trainer, and she's an entrepreneur. Thank you so much for coming on the show today. I'm so excited to have you here.
Yes, thank you for having me.
Of course.
So got to do this.
So today we are doing a Jamaican mukbang. And you're Caribbean, right?
I am, but you know, I live in LA and we don't have these options so readily available.
Right.
So you're very lucky.
That's
I'm
true.
I'm very happy to be eating this today because I could always go for some Jamaican.
That's true. So we have some jerk salmon. I'll show the camera so they can see. Jerk salmon, rice and peas, and cabbage. And Nikeva she has jerk salmon, rice and peas, and plantains.
Which is my favorite. So
you know what?
Very much.
I feel like I knew that because I'm not really a plantain person, which is crazy.
Who is not?
I know. Don't judge me. But I love me some cabbage, so I got me some cabbage. We also have some shrimp rasta pasta here that I'm really excited about.
That looks bomb.
Like I'm super excited to try this. So let's dig in.
What do we start with?
I don't know. What do you?
I'm gonna go for the salmon because my mouth is salivating.
Okay, let's do it.
It looks succulent.
It does. It looks extra moist.
Fire. Bomb. You know, I had salmon yesterday. Not nearly as good as this.
Really?
And it was not from a Jamaican place.
Of course.
No, this is really good.
The food was provided by Island Foodie in Queens, New York. It's a Jamaican restaurant and their food's really good.
I was just about to ask. No, this is fabulous. I'm really not saying that for camera.
Isn't it so good? Isn't it so good?
Wow. Thank you. This is a perk.
Okay. So I wanted to have you on the show today because I kind of wanted to interview you on your journey.
Okay.
Because I met you in New York, right? When we worked at Miss Lily's.
Yes. Look at us. Full circle moment. Back to eating the Jamaican food.
I don't even remember what year that was. Do you remember?
2014?
Was it 2014? It might have been.
It was before I moved to LA.
That's true.
So it might have been summer 2014 because I was only there for a month.
Right.
I only lasted like a cute summer month, but it was so fun.
You were only there for a month?
Yes.
Why did it feel longer?
Because we had the time of our lives and it was just fun being cute and passing around food. And I had never served in my life before. That was my one great month experience as a server.
Interesting.
And I have a lot of respect for it now.
Right.
You know, you gotta try.
That's true.
But I also know that I was great at it. So when I get a waitress that has like an attitude, I'm not here for it.
Right, same.
Because I was like, listen, I did the job, so I feel like I can say a little something.
Right.
You know what I mean?
So there's 2 locations for Miss Lily's, and we worked at the one in the Lower East Side on 7th. Was it 7th? 7th and Avenue A.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's where we met.
And we helped open it.
Right, so we were both servers there. We did open that.
We opened it. That was the whole thing.
We opened that location.
Real cute group. It was really fun.
It was like the new hot spot in New York City. Like celebrities.
It was fire. People came by.
Yeah, it was
The
a vibe.
music was bomb. It was a party.
It was.
It was a great way to work for a month in the summer.
Right. And then from New York, you moved to LA. How long have you been in LA?
Well, if I moved, so the thing is I was back and forth a lot, but 2015 is when I booked a one-way trip in the middle of an acting class, mind you. I was in a Meisner class downtown and I had been wanting to go to LA, but I just needed to like kick my ass out the door. And we were on a break and I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna book the one-way ticket. I have enough friends and people to stay with. So I booked a ticket in 2015 and I ended up staying that stint for like 4 months from let's say January, February to like June or something like that.
Right.
And then I came back to New York, decided that I was gonna try to be bi-coastal. But really I feel like when you're moving, especially moving for work, like I really wanted to put myself deeper into the industry, do more things as a model, as a dancer, as an actor, like all of it. It was kind of not realistic to be back and forth. Like I needed to plant myself in LA for a little bit just to get my footing, to network, to meet people, to be there, you know?
Right.
So that was in 2015. Now it's 2023.
So you've been there since 2015?
Yeah,
really?
But I did come back and forth, like between 2015 and 2017. I was back and forth a lot, and I had like a boyfriend living in New York, so I was not married to LA.
Okay.
So, but since 2018, I've been like solid in LA, so I kind of started from that point. So that's a solid 5 years, but give some extra time as well.
Right, okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
So I know, like, for me, I've never lived outside of New York City. When I got signed in high school, and I lived in South Africa for like 4 months.
Oh, I don't think I knew that.
For like 4 months, yeah, but I never lived outside of New York City. I feel like it's such a risk to like move from your hometown to go chase your dreams somewhere. And you didn't just move to one place, you moved to New York, and then
I'm a hopper.
And then LA. So like that's really inspiring to me, because that takes a lot of courage. So, you know, I applaud you for that.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, so I mean, I did it fairly easily, but I think because I moved from Chicago to New York for college, that set me off into like, now I can move wherever.
Anywhere, right? Where'd you go? Fordham University?
I went to Fordham.
Okay, cool.
Fordham University, go Rams.
Okay.
I was at Fordham University Lincoln Center because I was a dance major at Ailey. So they have a program, a BFA program there that I did. But yeah, moving to New York City at 18 was wildly awesome. I didn't feel like I had a moment of culture shock because I'm from Chicago, which is a, you know, comparable city.
Right.
Definitely not New York, but
right.
It was fun. Like I just came straight into it. I had the best of both worlds because I was living in Manhattan, but was very involved in like Rose Hill and doing my business classes up there. So I had like college campus life, football parties, all the stuff. And then I would stay in New York for all my classes, and I mean Manhattan, and go out and do the whole Manhattan thing.
Right. The whole Chelsea meatpacking vibe.
Yes.
Vibe.
Fake ID for the first couple of years.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
I know that life.
Yes. So it was fun, and I like that leaped, and it felt very. It's kind of easy, like that one. The LA one was a little bit more challenging because I established myself in New York for like 8 years at that point.
Right.
And like I said, I literally had to just like push myself out the door and book that ticket. But I had a good footing in the industry. I already had agency representation, and I think knowing that I had agents already and was able to connect with agents in LA as a model and as a dancer for sure, and I was already SAG, like these things mattered, right? So I was able to make that leap a little bit with more confidence.
You were already SAG? That's fire.
As a dancer,
SAG isn't easy to get.
So I didn't really know that until I got to LA, and I was in these acting classes, and actors were expressing, you know, wanting to be SAG and how they were trying to get their SAG eligibility. Right. And I had taken it for granted as a dancer because we do so much, or I had done so much television and film work for like America's Got Talent or Good Morning America, like these different SAG jobs. So I was moved into SAG very easily. That's fire.
That's fire.
Yeah. So, but coming to LA, I was like, oh, this is a thing. Like I respect it. I'm happy that I have this footing. And then LA. I mean, I'd say the hardest thing about moving to LA was that it's so quiet. And I was like, I had to get used to being alone. New York, you're like constantly around people. You hear, even if you're in your house alone, you hear people walking outside.
It's claustrophobic as fuck.
Well, sure, it can be. But it was like the city is alive, and LA can be very, very quiet, which is, now I love it. Like I feel like I love my solitude. I love being alone. And those were things that, it was definitely, because I moved to LA when I was 28. So I was at, you know, maybe my Saturn return. Is it called Saturn return?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Saturn
I think I was like going through that whole thing.
Your Saturn return is from 27 to 30 or what?
Yeah. Something like that.
Yeah.
Around those times. From the little bit I know about it. But I mean, looking back, it makes a lot of sense. And I remember being very uncomfortable, you know, knowing that I couldn't call my East Coast friends past 9 o'clock my time in LA. And I just remember sitting there feeling like it was so quiet. And I felt very estranged from humanity sometimes. Right. But I gained friends quickly. I love being the new girl, so that was fun. I do.
I do not. I feel like it's so much pressure and like
no,
attention.
I love it. I like walking up like, hi. I don't know any of you. I feel like it's like a fresh start. You don't know anybody.
Yeah.
And I mean, it definitely comes with like you have to have the internal confidence
That's
to
true.
be able to be in that room. But
That's true.
since I was little, I've honestly always loved being the new girl. Like
Right.
when school would start again, like, ooh, like who's in my class, or a new sports team. So those things have stuck with me. And going to
Where we going? Living in New York City, you know.
See, excuse me, taping. But yeah, so it was fun being the new girl and like making new friends, and I have a great group of girlfriends now that came together so seamlessly and very synchronously, and they feel very aligned with who I am now. So it's been great. So I'm all for taking the lead. Take the lead. Because also what I thought to myself, I'm like, I wanted to make sure I had experienced all the major cities before turning 30. So boom, Chicago, I love Chicago, grew up there. New York, definitely love it. But it started to get too easy. It was like, okay, we're going out, I'm going to casting. Going out, chilling with friends. Like it was just, not that New York is easy, but if you can get to a place you're like, yeah, I get it. I know the subway, I know the life here.
Right.
I needed that next level of challenge and to get that much more serious about my career.
Right.
So going to LA and having that solitude and figuring out, you know, like, okay, what's next was also why I strategically went at that time.
Right.
And now I could live in any of those places or a new city. I love Toronto, I love London, Miami, you know.
Yeah, that's what's cool about like taking that leap, because as soon as you take that like one leap, you can do anything. Like you're saying, not because you've done New York and LA, you're comfortable moving anywhere by yourself and like having that like confidence in your independence and like throwing yourself in a whole other state where you don't know anybody. It's
exciting.
Like starting fresh and building friends and family, like that takes a lot of like balls to do. Something I haven't done that yet, but one day I will.
Yeah, I want that for you. I mean, New York is amazing. You grew up in an incredible city,
right?
But it's not going anywhere.
That's true.
So I always tell
always gonna be here.
Like it's not going anywhere. I have a lot of friends in LA that have never left California either, and I'm like, you guys gotta go over there. Like, you gotta go out there. Like, you only have one life to live.
It's
you gotta try it all, you know?
It's true, because life is so short. Like, you don't know when your expiration date is. Like, you really gotta take the risk. Okay, so one question I have is, what are your biggest challenges with chasing your dreams? Specifically in another state, but also just in general.
I'd say discipline. I find myself to be a very disciplined individual. I'm a Capricorn.
I was gonna say, Capricorns are queen of discipline.
I'm a workhorse, and I know that I'm very disciplined. However, not having to, like, I'm a freelancer. I don't have to answer to anybody. So it's like a next level of discipline. Where, like, if I have a boss or if I have a task I have to complete, I am very disciplined to do it. But it's a lot harder when you don't have a deadline, and it's like I have to create deadlines for myself. That's how I've learned to be my own boss and to run my own self as a business. Whether it's the modeling, the dancing, the acting, the fitness, everything, like different entities within the business that is Nikeva. But I'm noticing, like, I would usually toot my horn and be like, yeah, I'm super disciplined and I can whatever. But I'm noticing that, like, wow, I really have to create these deadlines for myself, because
that's how you move forward.
That's how I move forward. And like, I've also been fortunate, like I've been very financially literate, I'd say, my entire life. So I'm never, like, it's not even, I want to make the money and I do have that hustle, but like I'm never feeling like I'm gonna be living on the street tomorrow, because of the way that I've set myself up. So that also can usually like kick some fire under your ass, and I don't necessarily feel that all the time. So I have to create it for myself. I'm like, no, you have no money in the bank right now. You gotta get this.
You gotta go get it.
Yeah, like you are gonna be on the street tomorrow. Like I have to create these higher stakes for myself often to apply that top level discipline that I know I'm capable of. But that is, I think, being a freelancer and being in charge of your entire schedule and your entire trajectory and moving forward, having it be all on you is probably the biggest challenge. And secondly, I would say the in-between time. Like, you know it, we all know, like, life ebb and flows for everybody, but if you are in the entertainment industry, I think you know that all too well. And it never gets easier. Like, I just think that we learn to deal with it better, or I know how my mood is gonna shift and I know how to combat that immediately.
That's so true.
I also know how to give myself space for like, okay, I don't feel great because I don't have any auditions this week and that makes me feel anxious.
Right.
How can I immediately rectify that anxiety that's like building up inside of me?
Right.
And it's just wild that it never goes away. And I've talked to, you know, the most
That's it.
like accomplished actors way down the line, and they still experience that too. It's like that in between, and also because we love what we do. Like I love to work.
So you constantly want to be working.
I love if I don't
adrenaline.
Yeah, a lot of free time sometimes makes me like itch, but I think I've done a better job at, you know, filling that space, and then again just learning to how to work with my mind and what I need to push through that moment of like where it gets a little quiet. It's gonna continue, like ebb and flow. I always just tell myself, go with the flow.
You learn to deal with the ups and downs.
Right, we are in an ebb of the wave. The flow is coming. It's not, everything's temporary.
Right, everything is
not gonna be like this forever.
I do have some ting. I don't know if you guys know about ting. Do you like ting?
Why would I never have a ting? I'm a Caribbean woman.
I know. I'm sorry to disrespect you like that. We have some ting. I love ting. I don't even like grapefruit like that, but for some reason,
the pink one?
I have. Let's cheers to some ting. This is actually Snoop Dogg's wine.
This is my favorite. You didn't tell me that.
Guys, maybe I should show the bottle.
Snoop Dogg's wine is underrated. I have a lot. I'm not like a wino, but I have a lot of friends that are, and they actually have approved of it.
I'm a wino. I approve.
But it's good.
It is really good.
It's honestly good. Cheers.
Yum.
I like it.
Actually, I'm gonna take some more. Hold on.
You know, I would do this on camera, but I know a special way to open these tings. Have you ever used like a bottle and a bottle to open it?
No, go ahead.
I don't think I can do it that fast, but basically my cousin showed me a thing where you go like this.
Is it gonna spill? I'm nervous.
I'm not gonna do it. And you lock it and then you open it.
And it just...
And it, yeah, you can open both of them.
Okay.
What am I doing here?
Yeah, that's...
But I'm sure you can find it on like TikTok. However, it's an old Caribbean trick and it's a twist off, so we don't have to go through that trouble.
Right.
Tashaè's like, no, we're just featuring at the top. Yummy. Ting with tequila is my go-to drink.
Ooh, that sounds
Heard it here
good.
first. Yes.
Ting and tequila.
Ting and tequila.
Some Casamigos, what kind?
I like the anejo or the reposado.
Okay.
But a splash of ting, because honestly it's grapefruit soda, right? So it makes sense, but it's really good.
You know what? I'm a mezcal kind of girl.
Okay.
I feel like this would be good with some mezcal too.
I really think it would go with mezcal.
Right?
I went to Mexico City in December and had my fair share of mezcal for sure.
Yeah, I haven't been to Mexico yet. I might go for my birthday.
You know, I hadn't been at all until I lived in LA.
Yeah.
And now I've been probably like 5 times because that's where everyone out there goes.
And I'm gonna try this shrimp rasta pasta.
Looks like Alfredo.
I feel like rasta pasta is like Jamaican Alfredo. Like they don't even
It's
make
absolutely Jamaican.
They don't even make this in Jamaica. No. This is like an American
like
American thing.
Alfredo.
That is from, right?
Yes.
Oh, that's cool.
And my entire family lives in the Caribbean, so that's like I don't have like Thanksgivings or Christmas with a lot of family in Chicago. It's just my parents and my brother. So we love going to Neva's every year because that's where you really feel the presence of our huge family. My dad comes from a family of 13 siblings. So
wow.
Very big island
about
family,
right
and it's
Caribbean.
so fun. Yes.
Sounds about right for
But Caribbean. I love it. I was just there for my birthday for the 2nd time, and I think it's gonna become a trend because it's just fun. Like we have a huge family party. I brought a friend down this year. I want to bring more friends next time. But who wouldn't want to be in the Caribbean to celebrate their birthday?
I know, that's why I might do Jamaica or LA because I kind of want to have a beach party in Malibu, like on the beach.
Jamaica. Let me tell you, I have gone in the beach in LA, like actually I did do my birthday there during pandemic.
Okay.
And I got in the water, but it was a randomly like 80-degree day in January. But nobody gets, well, no, I shouldn't say nobody. I don't get in the water in LA. It's the Pacific Ocean, it's cold. The Caribbean beach, like I'm beach bougie. Caribbean beaches all day.
What is your why? Like what is your biggest motivation for like getting up every day and going after what you're pursuing? What's your why?
What is my why? I would say spillage on out of 3. Man, I feel an immense level of gratitude for the life that I live.
Right.
And for the talent that I have, that I possess, for the family that I was born into. And it just creates this like hunger in me to make the most of this time on earth.
Right.
And I genuinely I'm just never okay with settling. There's this constant hunger in me to make the most of myself and my talents. And I also, then off of that, I think of making my dad really proud.
Aw, that's cute. What about your mom? Your mom's
I know, I was gonna get into that. Like, my mom is amazing, like the sweetest person on earth, but I feel like my mom is proud of everything that I do, right? My dad is a little bit harder to please.
Really? Okay.
And he is, his male presence, you know, these Caribbean fathers can be a little much. But I've noticed that when I think, like when I think of, if I think of myself like at the top of my acting career for wherever that goes,
right?
Like in an acceptance speech, I think of my dad and saying that.
All right, so acceptance speech, go. No. No.
Well, I'm practicing in the shower, but like, I used to, funny thing is, the story about, it's called High Silver. So when I was dancing when I was younger, I was in competitions, and first of all, he hardly ever came, but it's fine. People go to brothers football games. My mom would be there with me.
No shade
but when he would ask, what I got, oftentimes I would get a high silver, which was like not gold, clearly. So he thought that was crazy.
Right.
And why would I get high silver? Like, you need to be getting gold.
Right.
So, play on words, like I always think about, like, wow, like when you get an accolade for acting or whatever it is, it's a nice gold piece of metal, piece of hardware. And I'm always like, man, got my gold, Dad, like in my head of when I would get to that moment. But I do it for me. I do it to make the most of this wonderful life that I feel like I live. Again, just deep set gratitude that I feel constantly. I write out my gratifications of all the gratitude all the time.
Making yourself proud and your family proud.
Yeah, making myself proud and making my family proud.
Right.
Is definitely what keeps me going. I want to do it for everyone that I just feel like people have believed in me from the very beginning. I don't feel like my story personally I've never had to prove myself so much. I feel like, if anything, I've been uplifted my whole life, which is, again, I'm so fortunate to have been in those circles, but it also adds pressure to be like, oh gosh, like they think so highly of me.
True.
I want to, sometimes I feel like almost, I guess it would be a little bit of an imposter syndrome. Like, I'm not as great as certain people, shower me to be, and I'm like,
right.
I need to be better. So for them, for me, for my family, all of that, just doing the damn thing.
It's funny that you
try to live up to it. Yeah.
It's funny that you talk about imposter syndrome, because that's like a real thing. Like, yeah, I have had imposter syndrome since I started doing this YouTube show. I'm like, what am I doing? Like, who am I right now? Like,
doing it.
What is going on?
But see, people look at that. Like, I saw it and I'm like, wow, like that's so impressive.
Yeah, well, thank you.
And it might feel small, like from where you're starting, but it takes it takes a lot of confidence. It takes gall to go there and just put yourself out there. True. So that's awesome.
That's true. Thank you.
Very impressive.
Thanks, Boo. I appreciate it.
Yes.
Okay. Give me 5 words that describe you best. I can help you out if you only got a couple of them.
Okay. 5 words for me. Charismatic. Charismatic, fun-loving. Fun-loving, sounds vibrant.
Vibrant is a good one.
Yeah, vibrant thing. Charismatic, fun-loving, vibrant, that's the same thing. Emotional.
Okay.
Very emotional. Yeah. I wear well.
You know what? Capricorns like are good at that, like keeping it together. That's why that's what I admire about Capricorns, because you guys are like really disciplined. Also, you're good at like keeping it together, you know, even if you're going through shit, like you won't know, because you're always the one in the room that's like, all right, you know what, guys, like you're the one that's like keeping everyone
I think we're
else
very practical
together.
like my when my bestest friends come to me for advice, I can give a very practical, pragmatic, objective opinion back, or, you know, or my thoughts. So
I'm a Capricorn moon and rising, so I have a lot of Capricorn characteristics.
Yeah, you do feel that way.
Yeah,
I get it.
Don't just tell me anything because you want. Okay, so it was vibrant, charismatic, emotional.
Well, we gotta put like practical or
practical. Practical is a good one. And I feel like you're like enthusiastic. Yeah. Like, you know what attracted me to you was like your energy. I definitely felt like charismatic. You know, I like people who are like, you just always have this like feel good energy. Thank you. And that's what I was attracted to. Like, you seem really genuine and like fun. And also, whenever we've been out, you're like one of the only ones out on the dance floor turning up, and that's my kind of vibe. Because I hate going to parties and nobody's dancing.
No, like why are we standing
here? It'd be like me and my two friends, the only one that's dancing at parties. Like, why did you come here to look at other people? I came here to shake my ass.
Exactly.
Like, when I want to shake my ass, I'm gonna go out.
How can you stand still when this music is playing?
No,
like,
for real.
It's a vibe.
Especially if it's some reggae, I'm gonna wind up somewhere. Like, I don't care where I am.
The reggae and the soca, you can't stay still.
I'm gonna wind up anywhere. Okay, so that conversation was really necessary, but let's get to the fun stuff. So I made up this game called Guess That Movie, and basically you have to act out famous one-liners from the movie. It can be like from your favorite movie or like a classic movie, whatever, like a movie that's well known. So you have to act out the line, and then I'll have to guess what it is, and then vice versa. So here we go with Guess That Movie. My mama always said life is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're gonna get.
Ding, ding, ding. Forrest Gump.
Yes. That one was easy.
Okay.
All right.
Ready?
I'm ready. Because I need to win. I've been losing all these games, and this is a game I made up, so I need to win at least one game. So let's go.
Anything you can do to draw attention to your mouth is a good thing.
Can I get a context clue?
Quit trying to make fetch happen.
Is this Mean Girls?
Almost. Go back.
Okay, wait, give me a clue. Who's the actor?
Who did Mean Girls get that from?
Clueless?
Yes!
Okay, yes! All right. Did you know that?
No, I didn't. I thought it was Mean Girls too.
Oh my gosh, fetch is from Clueless.
That's true. Okay. All right, so I got that. Okay, even though I guess the first one, we're gonna get a ding from me. All right, what you want, nigga? Okay, what's your name? Yeah, I heard him say your name was Reggie, nigga. You wanna take Megan out, right? Okay, how old is you? Shit, you about at least 30. You could fight? Okay, you could fight. Nigga. Wait.
Okay, let me guess.
You know what? I'll give you a clue.
Yeah,
if I give you a clue though, it's gonna be so easy.
What's the clue? Or should I just?
Because they're like popular ass actors.
Okay.
All right, it's a cop movie.
A cop movie. Bad Boys?
Yes, it is Bad Boys. It is Bad Boys.
I was gonna say Rush Hour, but I'm like, they're not cops. And then I didn't.
They are cops. Rush Hour.
Well,
right?
okay, yeah, but okay, yeah. You're right.
Wait.
I mean.
Wait. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So it's my turn. This one might be easy too.
Wait, it's my turn.
Oh wait, is it?
I just guessed yours.
Okay. Yeah. You're right. My bad.
Okay. Frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn.
Is that Medea?
No. but I understand why you would have guessed that. Think classic. Classic.
Frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn. All right, give me some context, please.
This movie, there's a woman in this movie that was the first black actress, I believe, to ever win an Oscar, or at least a nomination. Old classic.
Is it Halle Berry?
Older, classic. Want me to tell you?
Yes.
Gone with the Wind.
Girl, I was not gonna guess that.
That line is by
I
Clark
was
Gable.
not gonna guess that, okay? I can't tell you one line from Gone with the Wind.
Frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn.
Ready? All right, I'm ready.
Okay. I believe in you.
I'm nervous, okay. All right.
If you're a bird, then I'm a bird.
You have really pretty eyes.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, is it The Notebook?
Yeah. I still won, but great job.
Did you win? God damn it.
I think it was 3.
You know what? All right.
Cheers.
Cheers to you. I had a good time. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me.
I enjoyed learning about your experiences. I hope the audience was at least inspired, motivated, or entertained. And we'll see you guys next time.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah.